He went through the Clifton School District and went into chiropractic care. So he's going to talk to you a little bit about health and you, keeping your body healthy, and how important it is by the choices that you make. So give him your undivided attention, and approximately 20 minutes, so this is going to go from 10:14 to 10:34. Okay. Mrs. Lopez will be coming over here, and Dr. Moore will be going next door and doing the presentation. So you can just sit back and relax, and the speakers will be moving back and forth. There'll be time at the end for questions, so if you have any questions, or if you don't mind questions in the middle, that's entirely up to you.
Could you just give me 1 minute?
Sure.
Before I started the last class, I just wanted to just acknowledge the fact that Ms. Dystro was my gym teacher when I was at Columbus, and the reason that I tell you that is this. You know, way back then, you know, I'm obviously really involved in health and getting people healthy and getting into the community, making sure that you are healthy. It's important for me, but I got a start because of Ms. Dykstra and teachers just like her. And what's kind of cool is, like, after all of these years, to see her so involved, because when she asked me to be here, she did it because she was excited because the possibility that you guys might get something out of this. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, because I'm inspired personally myself, because I know that way back when she was telling me what she was telling me, she really meant it, and she's still 100%, you know, focused on making our lives better. So you made a difference in my life, and I appreciate what you're doing here as well.
I have two brothers too.
Yes.
And this is another person I had.
So yeah, and we went to school together. So it's, you know, I'll tell you what, it's an honor to be here, and I'll tell you why. You know, I've been in practice, I've been working with people in town for like 15 years, but it's kind of come full circle, because being able to be in the schools and working with the community, and the community that I love so much, it really means a lot to me. So I really appreciate you guys having me out here. A couple things I want to do today. I do not want to sit here and lecture to you and just teach you stuff and have you like just talk at you guys. So if you have any questions, please, please, please ask. I want to talk about some things that might be a little bit different. We don't have a ton of time, so I want to talk about things that might be a little bit different, or maybe a little bit different of what you've been taught, or some of the things that we kind of assume how our body works and how our health works. So as a chiropractor, you might be asking, like, well, first of all, does anyone know what a chiropractor is?
Work on your back.
Work on your back. Anyone else? That's right. Anything else?
Bones.
Bones are involved. You got that. Straighten your structure. All right, that's good too. Has anyone ever heard about chiropractic making you healthier?
Therapy.
Therapy, okay. Okay. Anyone ever heard that? Like, how does that work? Like, if just because my spine's better, how am I going to get healthier? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the truth about how our body really works. And because I think that a lot of times we're told and we're shown things, whether it be on television or told by our parents or just from people around us, how our body works. And like a lot of times when we get sick, like what happens when we get sick? What do you guys typically do when you get sick? Take medicine. You just take medicine, or sometimes you go, like, why does anyone go to a doctor here? To get better. Okay, that's good. It's a good intention, right? So we go to the doctor when we're sick, and what happens when we go there? Give you a shot, give you medicine, give you drugs. So let me ask you a question. Do you think, based on that when you're sick, you get healthy by taking medication or putting drugs in your body? Does that make you healthier? You don't know? So then why do we do it? I mean, that's makes you feel better. And that's a really good answer. Because the truth of the matter is, you know, drugs are out there, and these pharmaceutical companies are out there, and the truth of the matter is, we take drugs or medicine typically because we want to take care of something that we feel. Like, we don't feel something, feeling wrong, so we want to put some kind of medicine in our body. So medicine does a really good job. As a matter of fact, we call it allopathic, which means opposite of pathology. Pathology means sick. So opposite of the sickness is why you take the drug. So if I have high blood pressure, what do you think the drug's going to be that they give you? A low blood pressure lowering medicine, right? So if you have like a fever, they would give you a medicine for what? To bring down the fever, right? So if you have like indigestion, you get, right? Inflammation, anti-inflammation, right? Pain, painkiller. Depression, antidepressant, okay? So would you agree a lot of the drugs are pretty much just to make whatever you're feeling go away? Yes or no? Yeah, okay. You can nod if you just acknowledge. So the thing is this, getting rid of the thing that makes you feel bad, does that make you sicker, or just get rid of how you feel? Get rid of how you feel. Great, good. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the fact that, first of all, I believe that your body was designed to be healthy. Okay? I believe that you have a program in your body, and that program isn't like at 12 years old, flu. Okay? At 15 years old, knee gets injured. Okay? I believe that your program in your body was really designed to be healthy. And we're going to talk a lot about that today, because if you actually are designed to be healthy, okay, it's kind of on the inside of you, and really all that has to happen to be healthy is you have to be able to express that, okay? So all these things that we're putting into our body from the outside in isn't really a way to get healthy. It just helps us with some of those like symptoms and stuff, okay? So hold on to that thought. We're going to come back to that. So what I want to talk about today is this. What runs everything? What system is the most important system in your body? Cardiac system, okay? Any other? Spinal cord, good answer. Anyone else? The brain's a great one. How about like your digestive system, or is that the most important one? When you're hungry it is, right? But not necessarily all the time. One more? Respiratory system. So these are all really, really important systems in the body, okay? But there's one master system. There's one system that runs everything. There's one system in your body that runs every cell, every tissue, every organ, and all the systems. And it is the brain and the spinal cord. It's your nervous system. So here's a picture of that. This is the brain and the spinal cord. You see it right here. And you see how it's the one system, this is why you know it's so important, it's the one system that's totally encapsulated by bone. Like you're designed with this armor to protect it because it's so important. So you've got your brain, it's inside this hard helmet, right? Pretty well protected for the most part. And then you've got your spinal cord, which is what carries out all the messages, all that program for you to be healthy goes down through this blue thing here. It's called your spinal cord. Okay, and let me show me the spine right there. This is Chelsea. Everybody say hi, Chelsea. She'll be my assistant today. And this is what it kind of looks like. Don't worry, it's not a real human being's spinal cord. It's a model. All right, so you can touch it. I'm going to pass it around in a second. Don't pull on this red thing, please. It's already fallen off. But so check it out. So your brain is in your helmet, your skull, and your spinal cord is in these 24 bones, right? And what I'm talking about is if you do this, each one of these bones, kind of like a donut, right, has a hole in it, right? And if you take about 24 donuts and you stack them up on top of each other, you get a really long tube, right? That's where your spinal cord goes down. So why 24 bones and not one long tube? Well, if you had a long tube, you just wouldn't be able to move, right? So you wouldn't get much done, and it'd be kind of weird to dance around. I kind of dance like that, by the way. But the thing is this, you want this to kind of, right? So that's how I danced at the prom. So anyway, that being said, this being able to move around is important, but also because it moves around, sometimes it can put pressure on the muscles and the bones and the tendons and especially the nerves. So I'm going to pass this around, and you'll also see these nerves come off and they go to your stomach. One nerve will go to your heart. One nerve will go to your intestines. As a matter of fact, if you flip the page real quick, you're going to see how this is kind of looks like the fuse box, right, in your house. Anybody know what a fuse box is? Power, a bunch of switches on it, right? So you have a fuse box in your house. What happens if like one of the rooms in your house has like the ovens on, the microwaves on, the radio's on, the TV's on, maybe you have a disco ball going in there. You know, what's going to happen if you have all that power going on in the kitchen? Right, it blows the fuse, right? So kind of the same thing, like, so say the one nerve here goes to the kitchen, all right? Or this nerve here goes to your kitchen, or more important, maybe goes to your heart. If it gets overloaded or something doesn't work right, it actually turns that switch off, kind of like fuse box. So we're gonna pass this around. You can start, feel it around and see how that works. So do you see how important that the master system is? Because if it's not functioning properly, things will happen. So let me ask you a quick question. If the nerve, right, that goes to your stomach, right, has pressure on it, right, and it doesn't get the right signal to the stomach. Now remember we said before, what happens, what do you do when you get sick? You go to the doctor, right? And what does the doctor do? So what if you go, say I had a stomach ache, and I went to the doctor. You know, what do you think the doctor would do? Give you medicine, right? Because that's what they do. That's just what they do. It's called medical doctors, and so when you go to a medical doctor, they give you medicine. You know, when you go to a chiropractor, we're going to work with your spine and nerve system. If you go to a barber, you're going to get a haircut. I got a really bad haircut, right? So that's what you're going to get. So it's not good, bad, right, or wrong, but they're going to try to help you the best way they can by putting the chemical on it. But what I said was this: if I have pressure on the nerve going to my stomach, and the stomach doesn't work right, and then I put medicine in my stomach, maybe my stomach will feel better, but did it fix the problem? No, not really, right? It didn't. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that sometimes we may be able to fix that little problem, but it doesn't make us healthier, okay? For example, so in chiropractic, what we do, and in our office what we do, is we check your spine and nerve system. Because I want to make sure that all of those nerves that are going to your stomach and your heart and your pancreas and your digestive system and all the muscles of your body are all getting the right signal. And being able to measure it with some technology and maybe take some x-rays depending on how old you are and what's going on, and we're able to see if that's working right. Because wouldn't it make more sense to make sure that's working right first before we put drugs on top of it? Right? Because remember we said that putting drugs in your body, that's an outside-in approach. So think of it this way. If you were perfectly healthy, and I'd imagine most of you are, perfectly healthy, but say you're the healthiest point of your whole entire life, like say that is today, and I said to you, you're healthy, I'm going to challenge you. For the next 30 days, I want you to drink stomach medicine, asthma medicine, some medicine for inflammation and pain medication for the next 30 days. In 30 days from now, would you be healthier or would you be sicker? Sicker. So maybe putting medicine on it isn't the best thing to do first, okay? Doesn't it make sense to make sure everything is functioning properly? That your brain is getting that message to every cell, organ, and system in your body, so you're fully expressing that program we were just talking about. Because if you think about it, if you watch TV, who watches TV here? Nobody? Oh, everybody? Oh, okay, good. TV, if you watch the commercials, and I know a lot of you probably may not pay attention to the commercials because they're like, maybe that's when you get up and get a bite to eat or something, right? Or you're texting your friends. But the thing is this, if you listen to those commercials, every other commercial tends to be something for a medicine, okay? And the reason that I'm here today is because chiropractors don't have every other commercial on television, so we can't tell you our side of the story. So I'm here to tell you our side of the story, and I hope you remember it, because they're going to teach you their way of the way they think that you should be healthy. In their best intention to get you healthy, they're going to give you a medicine to make you feel better. But those drugs may not be the first thing you should be doing. As a matter of fact, if you listen to the side effects after those commercials, and really listen to them, because they kind of run through them really fast at the end, like it can cause heart disease, death, and constipation, and all that kind of stuff. They kind of run through it to get to the end, but you know what? That's some pretty important information that they're saying at the end, especially like when death is one of the things, right? Like if I had a stomach ache and I want to get rid of stomach ache, but a possibility was death, I'll deal with the stomach ache. You know what I'm saying? I might change my diet a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have ate all the fried chicken and all the, Pepsi Cola that I ate the night before. Okay, so we want to start thinking about things like that. Think about what they're saying, because just because it's on television doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. Because taking care of yourself, taking care of your spine and nerve system, that's what we do with chiropractor, but also eating properly, putting the right food in your body so you don't get a stomach ache, putting the right food in your body so you're not putting on excessive fat or messing with your sugar and diabetes and all that stuff that comes from eating improperly. Exercise is so important. Using your body is so important. Learning how to manage stress and knowing how to deal with stress in your life, being able to talk to parents or friends about what's going on in your life, really important, really important. I think that's one of the most important things that you could think about, because it's a big deal. Phys ed, why I love phys ed so much, it's not because it's about getting healthy so you can wear, like, get ready for the beach. You know what I mean? So you can be healthy, or you can be the strongest guy in the class. Phys ed really helps build a good awareness of yourself, a good awareness of your body. And it may not seem like a big deal right now, but it is a really, really big deal right now. Because you hear a lot of crazy stuff that goes on out there, and being able to be stronger, healthier, clear-minded, having your nervous system function properly, very, very important. I think it's one of them. I always thought it was my favorite class. So I'm in a good crowd here for that anyway. But that's what I have to say about that. So at this point, we have about 5 minutes left, and I wanted to be able to, like I said, I don't want to just talk at you the whole time. So if you have any questions, please ask me right now. Cardiac arrest? That's when your arrest means like stop. So when your heart stops. That's not a good thing. Yeah. Why do you ask? Heard about it, right? So good. Anything else? Anything have to do with health, exercise, or chiropractic? Anybody go to a chiropractor? You do. That's great. You know what? This is the truth. Now listen to what I said at the very beginning. We'll talk about some things that are kind of true and what's going on. Taking care of your spine and nervous system is a really important thing to do. We said earlier that most people go to the doctor when something's wrong. And I'll tell you something, I work with kids. I've adjusted my little babies when they were first born. Let me tell you something, raising healthy kids is a lot easier than fixing broken adults. Being healthy throughout your life is a lot easier. When you start to work with older people, and I have people that come in our office that are 80, 90, 100 years old, let me tell you something, those people that make it to 100 didn't just get there by accident. It's not like, wow, look how healthy they are, look how old and healthy they are. They were healthy their whole life. And people that make it that long to be healthy their whole life actually were always making the right health choices. And the ones that pretty much don't make it past like 70, 79 years old. And I know that sounds like a long way off to you, but it kind of comes up pretty quick after a while. Sure.
I'd really like to know how many of you guys feel stressed? And it's a two-part question. And then what stresses you out? What gives you the stress?
School.
Come on, I see you. So how many feel stressed? How many of you guys feel stressed? And so school in general, or what in school makes you crazy?
Teachers, everyone.
Okay. Kids. So maybe you can talk about time management and how to get control of that, all the work that they're doing and the stress that they have pertaining to the work.
Yeah, I will. That's kind of funny. So basically from your assessment, school wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the teachers. Because I was with a bunch of teachers and they said school would be a lot easier if it wasn't for the kids. So the feeling's mutual. You know what? I remember being in chiropractic school, really being stressed out. First of all, let me tell you something. When it comes down to discipline and time management, and it kind of comes back to sports, so that's where I got it from. I'll tell you what, I never loved school. I didn't graduate school till I was 28 years old. So you can imagine not loving it for 28 years. But you know what? I knew if I went to school, then I would have the freedom and the flexibility to do what I wanted to do. And if you don't realize it, I love what I do. I love being able to help people in our community, but help change their lifestyles. It's an awesome, awesome job. I'm my own boss. So if any of you are considering being a chiropractor, tell your parents, and you guys can come down to the office. I'd love to show you what I do. I love it, and I couldn't impress you enough to do that. But when it comes down to, I remember being at my aunt's house. My aunt's now she's 92 years old, and she's still alive. But this was probably she was probably 70 something at the time. And I'm raking her leaves. I'm home from break at chiropractic school. And she's like, how's school, Dave? And I said, oh man, Aunt Mary, it's like, you have no idea. I'm starting really complaining to her, like, I've got 27 credits, and I got the tests, and it's hard. And she said to me, I'm thinking she's gonna give me a cookie or something, and she goes, David, they don't just give that degree to anybody. You gotta earn it. And you know what? It was so true, because it is a little bit stressful. Guys, you know what? Life can be stressful. What I said before is so important. If you guys are under stress, tell somebody about it. You know, that's the most important thing. You're always going to have some sort of stress in life. There's stresses in life that are really, really tough. And whatever stress is stressing you the most is the most important thing in your life that's stressful. So never underestimate whatever that stress might be. Whether it's like over a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or it's over a test or something. That's the biggest thing in your life at that point. And even though someone might be dealing with something like horribly worse, it's okay for you to be stressed about that, but it's so important for you to be able to talk about it. Not to bury it, you know, and if it's something that you could talk to your parents about, talk to your parents about. If it's something you can't, make sure you find somebody else. You got to get it out. You got to get it out. You know, guys especially, don't try to like be a man and don't complain. So find somebody to talk about it with. You know, I'm 42 years old and I have more mentors than I've ever had in my life. I can go with my problems. You know, people that I trust. And as I'm getting older, I'm finding I'm actually acquiring some younger ones. You know, it just kind of happens. Time management, I live my life by 3 different things. Prime time, prep time, and playtime. Prime time is when I'm at the office and I'm taking care of people. That's when I'm getting the best results in my high energy place. I'm adjusting people, I'm changing people's lives. I love it, I love it, I love it. Prep time are the days that I'm not, or the times that I'm not doing that. I'm with my staff and I'm scheduling and I'm doing all the work I got to get done to prepare. Whether it's knowing what you got to do next week for your test, what you're studying for, write it down so you're organized. And then playtime. I make sure I have a lot of playtime. I make sure that my weekend, when I leave my office, I turn off the switch and I'm hanging out with my kids. Or I'm going out on a canoe ride, or I'm going out for a run or exercise, or doing something I got to do. So I don't live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday life. I don't live my life for the weekend. I try to schedule that stuff in to do that. So if you have too much playtime and you don't have any study time, which is your prep time, you're going to have a really tough time in school. So being able to have the discipline to shut off the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox and make sure that you are prepared for school, that's important too. So I think that we're about out of time. And I want to just thank you guys, and I want to thank the staff for having me here. And good luck. And if you have any questions, feel free.